I usually just get an email with an agenda.
All right, it's 6:30. I will call to order the January 26, 2026 Lake Elmo Planning Commission meeting. Our first item of business is to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item of business is to appoint a chair and a vice chair for the committee. Do we have any nominations?
I'll nominate Tom Raycamp for chairman.
Second? Oh, you got 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 seconds.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll accept the nomination, thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, I guess I am the chair again. Thank you
Okay.
very much. And now we need an appointment for a vice chair.
I nominate Jane Chars for vice chair. Sorry, Chars.
I'll second that
I accept.
gladly.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Jane being the vice chair?
Aye.
And then, any opposition? Jane, you are the vice chair.
Awesome, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. You as well.
Thank you for your 2026 commitment.
Yes. All right, moving on. Need to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Oh, we have an agenda. All right, and on to the minutes from the December 8th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the December 8th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposition? And we have approved minutes. All right, moving on to number 5, which is the public hearing, the zoning text amendment.
You guys have black screens, correct?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So at the December 9th City Council workshop, City Council discussed the public hearing notice requirement and our procedures with that. The general consensus was to increase the mailing distances from 350 feet to 500 feet. There was also discussion about adding push notifications for public hearing notices to the city website. As of today, that is live. So looking at the city code, there are 20 sections that needed to be amended. Again, this changes just striking out 350 and adding 500, so we can talk about a specific section if there's questions, but I'm not gonna go through each one of them. They relate to general regulations, subdivision regulations, and zoning. A public hearing was sent to the official paper on January 16th, and at this time, we have received 4 written comments that are before you tonight. And staff has a recommended motion, and I can stand for any questions.
Should we read into public record the public comments? Oh, I guess I need to open the public
Once you
hearing.
open the public hearing.
I'll open the public hearing first. All right, it is now,
You need a motion.
I do, you're right, thank you.
Motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? None? Let's open the public hearing. Is open at 6:34. Do we have anyone who, in the audience, who wants to make a comment? No? Okay, then let's read these into record, and I will ask you to read one, and everybody can read one.
Okay, I'll start with this one from Ann Buchek. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. That was sent in today. Planning Commission Chairman and members, This evening, January 26, 2026, the Planning Commission will be discussing not only who is required to be notified for changes to land usage, but it can also be a time when the city tries to be more transparent with their citizens. I am happy the staff made the recommendation to increase notification to those surrounding the proposed development to 500 feet. However, more can be done. The city could be like our neighbor, West Lakeland, and require notification of landowners within 1,000 feet or 10 landowners away from the proposal. Lake Elmo still has large lots, and 500 feet may mean only one home landowner being notified. It is important to remember when development takes place, not only are structures to be built, but there will be changes to traffic patterns, zoning changes, and environmental impacts such as wildlife patterns and lighting. The wider the notification, the more transparent. Also, may I ask if the city could post notifications of major subdivisions and primarily major subdivisions on the fresh front page? The city does indicate it if a meeting will take place, but does not indicate if an agenda item will deal with a change in land usage. Unfortunately, not everyone takes the time to do some clicking, and so a small posting on the front page would be helpful in informing citizens of potential changes. Please try to be as transparent as possible. I apologize for the late posting of this notice. I would appreciate if my thoughts could be read out loud at the meeting this evening. Thank you, Ann, for your comments.
Did you read her
I can,
address?
Ann Buchek,
Yep.
2301 Legend Avenue North, Lake Elmo, 55042.
Thank you.
Next, we have a comment emailed in from Joyce Solwood Kelch at 4855 Keats Avenue North, Lake Elmo, Minnesota. She says, "Here are my comments to the city council members for tonight's meeting. Thanks for reviewing this item. It was a huge concern for neighbors on or near Keats Avenue North several years ago. Please vote to change the notification from 350 feet to 500 feet, which will be a step in the right direction, like Hugo, Grant, Baytown, and May Township have this 500-foot policy. Although West Lakeland has a quarter mile or 10 closest neighbors, and Stillwater Township has a 500-foot and quarter or half mile for special products, please consider this. Today, I submitted requests for push notifications and received confirmations," and then she thanks Mel Eder for his commentary, which someone else can read. Or I can too. It just need to find the right one.
Go ahead.
All right. This one is from Mel Eder, and I'm not sure that Mel has his address in here.
No, I didn't see.
Mel lives on Keats Avenue as well.
Mel lives on Keats Avenue as well. And Mel states the change from 350 to 500 feet is great for dense areas, but for the areas with acre lots from 1, 5, 10, and still larger, doesn't cover many properties. It was great if we could address the two different areas.
This is from Joyce Cash. Sophia, hello, here are my comments.
I did Joyce's.
You did
No,
Joyce?
but there's another.
Oh, there's another one from Joyce?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
two of them.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Comments for city council meeting for tonight's meeting. Thanks for reviewing this item that was a huge concern for neighbors on and near Keats Avenue North several years ago. Please vote to change the notification from 350 feet to 500 feet, which will be a step in the right direction. Like Hugo, Grant, Baytown, and May Townships have this 500-foot policy. Although West Lakeland has 1/4 mile or 10 closest neighbors, and Stillwater Township has 500 feet and 1/4 or 1/2 mile for special projects. Please consider this. Today, I submitted a request for push notification and received my confirmation. Thank you, Melody, for your time to find a statement and notify me. Regardless, Joyce Seawald, Couch, Keats, 4855 Keats Avenue North, Lake Elmo, Minnesota.
I think the last one is George Crocker.
The last one is from George Crocker and Leah Fauci. Sorry, Leah, if I butchered your name. 5093 Keats Avenue North, Lake Elmo. Hi, Sophia. Thanks for helping us understand this proposed change. We support the comment you recently received from Joyce Kelch.
That's all that I received.
Thank you for those who submitted comments. So the question is at hand, I guess, is 250 to 500 feet?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Oh, thank you. Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing's closed at 6:40 PM.
All right, so we need a motion for discussion. I don't know that I have the exact wording here, but I'll just make it up. So, motion to recommend city council change the area of notification to 500 feet for public hearings.
The motion in the report is motion to recommend approval of the proposed text amendment as presented by staff.
As presented by staff.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Do we want to have a discussion before we?
I have a couple
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Could you, so I read through this, and on page 14, and it's in the subdivision section, under public hearings, there's a paragraph in here that says that the notice shall be published in the official newspaper at least 10 days prior to the date of the hearing, and written notification of the hearing shall be mailed at least 10 days prior to all owners of the land within, let's say, 500 feet of the boundary of the property in question. Public hearings shall follow the hearing procedures outlined in 105.12250. The Planning Commission, at its discretion, may direct that notifications be sent to property owners in distances of greater than 500 feet. When and how would that apply? And is it only for the subdivisions?
That is a great question. I haven't experienced that with the planning commission, so I'd have to check with the city attorney.
I guess when would we be notified that there's going to be, that it's an agenda item for the notification? Usually that's, we were getting our agendas about a week out.
Correct. Typically, the agenda is made and sent out within the same couple days. So I'm not sure how that would play out. We'd have to be working quite a bit ahead of time.
And I'm just wondering if it's just for that one type of a development, or if that's, could be applied to other things. I
I
just,
believe it's just for that one type if it's in that code section. But how that would play out, I'm not sure. I'd have to check with the city attorney.
I guess what I keep going back to as my point of reference is when the Daggy Farm was trying to be developed as a commercial property. And that's when some of these same neighbors that responded tonight were upset that they didn't get notifications. And as an example, my lot is wider than 600 feet. So where are they taking the measurements from? Are they taking it from the mailbox, or are they taking it to each house, or how do you determine, how are those addresses chosen?
From the outermost property boundary. So if it's multiple parcels, it's the outside of all of those parcels, and then
Are you using a
350.
tool for that, or are you just visually drawing a line on a map, or,
The county GIS.
and then you're just going from the edge of each property in each direction, or?
It has an algorithm. You can type in a 350-foot buffer. It'll do that buffer, and any property that's even slightly within that buffer gets picked up as a mailing notice.
I mean, things that have just been like 3 houses away from me, I've never received notification on, because it's more than 350 feet and still more than 500 feet. So I feel like there are still things that are big enough changes that we should have another way of, maybe you could explain a little bit for the citizens how they would go about getting set up on those push notifications, since that's something new. How could they find that?
They should talk to Kathy Smith. She's our communications coordinator, and she can get them set up on push notifications for public hearing notices, meeting packets, and then just general city information.
And it's basically on the lakeelmo.gov website.
Correct.
They go into the website and they go to notifications.
I think they go under Agenda Center, but I don't have the website in front of me. I defer to Kathy. They can email Kathy or give her a call, and it is not very hard to get set up. You can choose an opt-in for email or text message.
I would encourage all of our residents to go to the website and sign up for these push notifications, and that way they're taking responsibility for learning what's going on in the city.
So the question at hand is 500 versus 350.
500 is fine with me. It's the outer areas that still concern me, the ones, because we do still have large lot, residents here that might get missed totally. That's my concern.
Sure, but I think the concern from a legal standpoint, liability, is that, how is that discerned?
Yeah, that's right, then we get into.
So you've got to have your,
But like this one, the one city has two. It has so many feet, and then another, it goes on further. Was that West Stillwater Township?
It was West
Wow.
Lakeland, yeah, I didn't look
Yeah,
at that
West
as a
Lakeland.
comp city when we did the workshop because of population and it's a township versus a city.
it's tough comparison.
Yeah, it would be hard for staff, we wouldn't be able to run that on GIS, 10 houses down or
That would be
No, that's
whatnot,
not-
yeah.
realistic, yeah.
I went out to a number of the different communities, and Joyce basically encapsulated it in her note, but Grant is 500, West Lakeland is a quarter of a mile, or the closest 10 properties, Baytown is 500, Afton is 300 for 5 or less acres, or in their case, 500 feet for short-term rentals. Hugo is 500, Marine on St. Croix is 300 to 500. I'm not sure why they have a range. Stillwater is 350. Stillwater Township is 500, and sometimes up to a quarter mile or half a mile for specific projects. And May Township is 500. So I guess with the surrounding, I guess I'd like to see it be more than that, but I'm happy that we're getting an extra 150 feet. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, and 500 feet is less than .09 miles. Not very far down the street to be giving a notice in the country, so.
I mean, it's a two-part process that staff is recommending here. Like, one, we're increasing it to 500 feet, which makes it feasible for the GIS map to tell you that. The other is, the city's made it very easy to get notifications of public hearings, you know? So
Yep, we want
there's
people to
some
sign up.
responsibility and some onus on the residents for, reading what's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the city's also taking a step to go 500 feet. Do I think more is bad? No, but I think we also, it needs to be easy for staff to do.
Overwhelm staff
Yeah,
with
exactly.
extraneous work.
I'm happy that you guys took the step to take us above the baseline standards of statute. So appreciate the effort.
I'm
Anyone else?
good with it, no.
So the motion on the table,
Do you want me to reread it the right way?
fantastic.
Motion to recommend approval of the proposed text amendment as presented by staff.
Mike, you have seconded, it's
I
already been
second
seconded?
that. I will second that
Now
again.
let's put it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item. Zoning text amendments, some housekeeping.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is part of the 2026 Planning Commission work plan. Staff create these housekeeping items annually for minor ordinance updates, usually for consistency and clarity purposes, nothing major policy updates in these. Today, we have 5 sections of code. I'll go through each one individually, and I can stand for questions at the end. So any proposed new language is in red underlined text. Any existing language that staff is proposing to delete is red strike through. First section of code is 512080D2 regarding the placement of trash containers at the curb. So last year, City Council approved an ordinance change to allow waste collection to begin at 6 a.m. Since then, staff have identified another reference to this original 7 a.m. pickup time in a different section of code. So the new code would read, containers must be placed for pickup before 6 a.m. on the day of collection to ensure service. Next section is 105.12.210, setbacks. Staff is proposing a change to clarify how setbacks are measured in instances where property lines cross public streets. So the new code would read setbacks from roads, Where property lines extend across public roads, the setbacks shall be measured from the adjacent right-of-way. And this is consistent with current practice, so this is just getting it written down. Next section, 105-12-400B, fencing regulations. Staff is proposing an update to the definition of a temporary fence. So currently, the code defines temporary fence as a fence that is installed and removed on a seasonal basis, such as snow fences, garden fences, and seasonal recreation fences. Staff is proposing adding a line here, temporary fences do not include construction or silt fencing approved by the city. So this would just clarify that the code regulating temporary fences does not apply to construction fencing. This is because we have some regulations on setbacks for temporary fencing that doesn't really work for construction fencing when it has to be put at the property line or beyond for construction activities to take place inside the property. Next section, 105-12-920, permitted, conditional, and interim uses in commercial districts. Currently, residential uses are listed as a conditional use in the commercial district. Staff is proposing striking those, making them not permitted in the commercial district. This would be consistent with the 2040 comp plan. Currently, the commercial land use definition specifically excludes residential uses, and we want the city code to be consistent with that comp plan. And then lastly, 105-12-960, commercial district design standards. This section of code references another section of code, and it's currently referencing the wrong number. So staff would update that from 105-12-830 to 105-12-840, which is the correct reference to the review procedures that that section of code is referencing. So a public hearing was published at the city's newspaper on January 16th, 2026. We have not received any public comments at this time. I have a recommended motion, and I can stand for questions.
All right, we have a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion to open the public hearing. What?
Second that.
All right, public hearing is open at.
Call the question.
Oh, call the question.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Didn't think there'd be much opposition, but it is procedure.
We're working on it.
I know, and it never ends, maybe. All right, no one is opposed. We will open the public hearing at 6:51. And I don't see that we have anyone to provide any public comment.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Fantastic.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, no, any opposed? We'll close the public hearing at 6:52. Do we have a motion on the table?
Sure. Motion to recommend approval of the proposed text amendment as presented by staff.
I will second. Discussion?
The garbage hauler thing, I don't have a problem with that. Garbage haulers like to work early in the morning before traffic gets too bad, so I'm okay with that one. Setbacks, if we're already measuring our setbacks from the adjacent right-of-way on lines that extend across public roads, it makes sense to get that in writing so that it's clear on what we're doing. Temporary fences, as a construction person, I'm glad we're not including temporary construction fences and silt fencing, because we oftentimes are required by the county to put it in the right-of-way. And then the one for residential uses in commercial districts, I was surprised by that. I didn't know that we allow that, but if it's consistent with our comp plan, then I'm all for it. And the commercial district design standard, it's good that we're referencing the correct code instead of the incorrect. And I think that just about covers why I'm in favor of this.
All right.
I think you have it backwards. I think they're removing, right? We're removing the residential out of commercial.
Correct, it would not be permitted in a commercial district.
Are there any currently?
None that I'm aware of. We do have a mixed-use commercial district, and this wouldn't affect that district.
I like the catch on the 830 to 840.
So if I bring my garbage cans out at 7 a.m., mind violation of this?
You just can't
Absolutely.
complain.
To ensure service.
You
Yeah.
can't complain.
If you don't want service, put them on at
Ensure
7.
service.
To ensure service, it
Okay,
means you
right, right,
can,
right.
but you,
Yeah, noted, okay.
If you like to gamble.
Well, you know, is it, it's kind of a private business deal, so I'm wondering how far we're digging.
I thought that same thing, but.
Yeah, all right. Any further discussion?
Make sure you take them in by 8 PM.
And they don't blow away.
I usually blow away
That's
the
the
night
bigger
before, that's the problem. No, it's, area HOA will gonna give you some rules around that as well, generally, if you have one. All right, any further discussion? Let's take a vote. All in favor of the motion on the table?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? There is none. The motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is any new or unfinished business.
We have no unfinished business. I have no city council updates, and your next meetings will be February 9th and February 23rd.
Fantastic. And I don't believe I need a motion to adjourn.
No, that's on you.
It's all on me, so we will,
Power we've given you.
oh, careful.
For a whole nother year.
And with that, we'll adjourn the Lake Elmo Planning Commission meeting for Monday, January 26th, 2026. Thank you very much.
Thank you.